Hello again. This is the Waterman. This is a spiritual toolbox short, okay? So that you can identify this stuff more easily in the storms of your life to make the right decision to greenlight God, okay? And not be in the dark, in the blind, following your own beast nature, your own alpha dog inside. Ooh, yuck, okay? Now, we're going to be in Deuteronomy 7:1, okay, and 7:2, okay, but we're going to concentrate on Deuteronomy 7:2. We're going to deal with the Perizzites. We're going to expose it. Don't keep it a mystery to you. Let's open it up so you can identify that sucker. I see you, dirty dog. You non-spiritual, you carnal thing of the carnal mind. You're not the rightful king. Get out. Drive it out when God gives you the opportunity. The storms of your life is giving you the opportunity when you get down to the eye of the needle. And God says, decide which way do you go. Fall into your own crap thinking, into your own carnality, or fall into God's righteousness. You can't stay riding the fence. You can't stay in that duality there. If you try to stay in the duality, anything but going in hot pursuit of God's righteousness, you're going down the drain, going down the shitter. Your own seeing, hearing, taste, touch, and smell with your own ego in the way. You got to drive that thing out. The I, the ego must decrease and God must increase. Like it's telling you in John chapter 3, verse 30. Okay? Just a second. Okay. Let's start out reading it from the King James Version. Okay? In Deuteronomy 7:1, it says, When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hast cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, God's delivered them, right? These storms are like, he's delivered them. Now make your decision. Thou shalt smite them, and destroy them, and shall make no covenant with them. Don't draw into them, don't give in to them, don't try to appease your own stinking thinking. That's your enemy, okay? Okay? Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Alright, and that's your own stinking thinking. That's not lambasting or putting down anybody else. All this stuff. No. Take care of your own backyard, okay? Now, let's get up here. We're going to expose the word that they translate as "and the Perizzites." It comes from the concordance number 6522. We get down here to this. Okay. Now, and the Perizzites comes from 6522. It's this word.
Strong's H 6522.
Perizzi. Okay, basically, that's meaning the independent nature of that old non-spiritual thinking, independent of God's righteousness. You want to do it your own way, You want to be in your own righteousness, my own knowledge of good and evil, not God's. I'm my own king. I'm my own king. No, you're not. Slap that silly dog thinking. Just slap it silly. Knock the crap out of it. Don't, what do they say, smite it. Don't have mercy on it. Get out. God's giving you the opportunity to come from this red Adamic way, yuck way, up to his higher, superior way, his righteousness. God's the rightful king. Gain this racham, this ability to love God as he first loved you, and he loves you beyond the mere description of words. So you're gaining levels. You're leveling up, if you will, in your ability to love God as he first loved you. Wow. There is no greater reward. Huh? That's not just wishy-washy yuck. Ooh, no. Because sometimes that love you have to do some hard things. Smite that old daggone dog. Get out. All right. You're agreeing with God. I wouldn't know all this time, that I've done this. That's just trash. It's a waste. Get rid of that baggage and come on up to God's higher way of thinking. Okay? Now, this Perizzites comes from 6522, and the etymology that means belonging to a village. Huh? Okay? And it's that independent nature, independent of God. Your own village in here. Your own guarded tower, like those Ninevites. Guarded city. Don't you dare get in here. You're getting too personal. God's getting in there. Make your mind up, my child. You're falling up or falling down. You agreeing with me, or you agreeing with your own self? Your own village. Okay? Oh, I belong to my own self. I'm my own king. Don't be independent of God. God causes all this stuff to work together for good to them that love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. Read on about that in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, and walk to the end of the chapter. Study it, don't just skim it. There's much there. You can't really exhaust it. It's the living word. It's that living water. Like the woman at the well, drinking from, that's you, me, each person in this eye of the storm, drinking from that old Jacob's well. Yuck. Come out of that and let God give you the living water that brings life, the fullness of life. That strengthens you, brings you up, back into God. Right? Get that permanent satisfaction. This other stuff's a liar. Okay? Now, that 6522 comes from 6521. This in the etymology, okay? Hang with me. I'm going to chase it down to the root of this problem, of this independent nature of your old carnal mind. It's a giant. Gotta smack that thing between the eyes, pow, in the forehead with a rock, with Christ, and then cut its head off. Over and over and over. To get each one of those little tiny pixel of that one thought process. To change it, drive that thing out, and possess that land. Possess that little ball of your thinking with Christ. Let it come to the next level. When you qualify with God, that me, which is pronounced may, when you qualify with God, that you're negating that other stuff, driving it out, and everything's in order, God gives the increase. And through this this experience of this, it's like much gratitude. It's, oh my goodness, you are my exceeding great reward. There's no doubt this is my gospel, my good news, and no one can take that from you. If God be for you, who can be against you? Doesn't matter. All this outward stuff's not what it's about. The kingdom of God is where? Behold, the kingdom of God is within you. If you live to be 200 years in the natural, what's that? It's a blip in the grand scheme of things. Come and get this permanent stuff. These pearls of great price. Okay? Now, 6522 is this word right here.
Strong's H 6521.
Or 21.
Perazzi.
6522 in the etymology is perazzi. 6522 is the adjective. Perazzi is the masculine noun, okay? And now that masculine noun, perazzi, is an inhabitant of an open country. It's belonging to its own village, your own carnal region. My own righteousness is my king. Everything's open to me. I can do what I want to do, and I don't need no king. God telling me what to do. Oh, I don't have to come back into union with God. I don't need to rest and rely on God. Oh, you get losing your focus when you do that. You're turning your back on God, and you're going towards your own me, myself, and I. That ego is increasing. You're getting deeper and deeper and deeper into your own sets thinking. You're seeing, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. With your relying, you're looking on this I, this ego, and that's diarrhea thinking. Ooh, yuck, don't drown in that stuff. It calluses you down after a while. And then you can't take the new truth. You'll be stuck in this area of your thinking. And then a new wine comes in there, burst the bubble. You can't take old wine skin and put new wine in it because you lose both. It bursts the bubble, right? It bursts the wine skin. Okay, now, these ones that's belonging to their own village is a people who inhabited southern Canaan. Now, southern Canaan is a comfortable place in their own righteousness. I'm comfortable right here, my easy peasy way, doing it my own way. I'm independent of God. I'm independent. And they're proud, arrogant about it. Oh, boy. See, that's inside it. If you feed that thing and you get plumb stupid. Stop it. God's right, king. Not me, myself, and I. Let go of that ego, right? That's trying to edge God out. Here, keep your dark thinking on top and keep that little bitty seed that's a nothing, insignificant God thinking buried down in your earthly thinking, in your fleshly thinking. That's your carnal mind telling you that. It's a liar and the truth's not in it. Ooh, yuck. You can't get rid of that. Humanistic thinking. Carnal mind. 666 out of your forehead, out of your mind, out of your hand, out of your works, your efforts. Doing that. Okay? Now, this 6521 Perizzites, see here. Yeah. One dwelling in their own country. Okay. Now that one comes from 6519. Okay. All right. And 6519 is this PRVZYM. This word.
Strong's H 6519. Perazzoth.
Right. These things are all. This is one that's supposed to dwell into God, going to God's righteousness. It's going its own way. It's independent. Okay. Now this 6519 Perizzoth or whatever. You're dwelling in your own righteousness. Yuck. Okay. Now that one. Yeah, it's saying in the open country, unwalled village. Open to anything goes. Oops. That's the way I think, and I can twist the truth to my own destruction if I want to. Oh. Right? Okay. Now, that word says it's the same as 65:18. Okay? Now 65:18, we'll chase this down to the root. The root of that problem. The root of that giant. Where it's coming from. That old sneaky snake. That old tyrant bully in your land, in your mind, in your Red Sea of a mind. Alright? That comes from P-A-R-A-Z. That's 60, or it's the same as P-A-R-A-Z.
Strong's H 6518. Paraz.
Okay? And it's an open country. Everything's open to me. I just do it my own way. It don't matter what God thinks, I don't need him. Oh. You being stupid. Right? Now, it means to separate from God. Directly opposed. It's going in the wrong direction. It's separating from the love of God, from the righteousness of God. It's going to its own righteousness. That's you, me. It's our own carnal mind. This Perizzites. It's to decide for oneself. I'll make up my own mind. I don't need God to tell me nothing. He don't talk to me. I keep him buried down in my earth, my fleshly thinking, so I can't hear him. See here, taste, touch, the smell of Christ. What are you talking about? I'm gonna tell that thing, be still, put a muzzle on it. Here, you stupid dog. Right? Not talking about puppy dog out here in the natural. I like little puppy dogs. Animals. Love them. Take care of them. Alright? I'm talking about this beast nature inside you. Huh? Kill that thing. Let's smite it. Drive it out of your land, out of your mind. All this seed, Red Sea. Don't stay in that crap. Now, it's to decide for oneself. It's to be a chieftain. I'm the first fruit. I am my own God. Huh? I'm my own dumbass. Can't spit. You're not speaking in the language of God, in the tongues of God. That love goes beyond the mere description of words, with adoration, reverence, awe. You're my exceeding great reward, God. Oh my goodness. You're not speaking that. You're not living it. You're not existing. You're not nothing. You're existing into your own crap thinking. Huh? Your red Adamic way. Your red-faced, man-faced. Yuck. Don't do that, right? So, the root of that Perizzites, that independent nature, is right here. The root of the Perizzites is that their own righteousness is their king instead of God. Slap that thing down. Get out of here. Turn. Do an about face of metanoia. Change the way you think. Do a 180-degree about face and go the other way. Okay? Now, one more little place and I'll be done with this one. It's went a little longer than I was aiming to, but that's alright. We got to cover it. Go to Judges, chapter 21, the last chapter, the last verse. Okay? Just going to read it. And I'm just going to read it out of the New King James because it flows easier. Okay? Judges 20, chapter 21, verse 25. In those days, there was no king in the land. The rightful king, God, wasn't in their mind. In Israel. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. Their own seeing, hear, taste, touch, and smell, in their own understanding. They did what was right in their own eyes. Their own righteousness is independent of God's nature, character, and authority, of the true King, Father God. They was living under their old king, their alpha dog, not the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last, not God. They're living under their own bullshit thinking. That's worthless and detestable. Ooh, yuck. Not gonna cut the mustard. If you like these videos, hit like and subscribe, and I'll continue later. Bye-bye.